Okay, this is a quick tutorial on creating a solution for the Unit 2 Outcome 1 trial SAC, the personal exercise PAL. So I'm going to use the documents with the design notes in it, with the IPO chart and the BMI calculation ranges, the mock-up and the object descriptions and algorithm that you can find in that, okay, in the descriptions. And we know that what we want to be able to do is actually create something that's going to allow people to enter their height and weight data and calculate a BMI for that and display the results. So let's create a new project. We'll create a new forms project, set up the interface to start with. So file, new project. And it's going to be a Windows form application. Let's call it BMI Trial SAC. That'll do. And just let it save to the default folder. And we'll start by just creating the interface. So a good idea to actually get the toolbox up as well. So under View, if it's not showing, come and show the toolbox there and pin that to the to our window, and then I'm just going to resize my window so it looks something like the dimensions that we had in the Windows document, in the Word document. I'm sorry, and then there's a couple of things that we'll do to set it up. I'm going to come down to the containers and just put in a group box. A group box is just a visual display, just to allow us to actually lay out content, and there's two areas of content in this. There's one for user input and one for the output of the information. So I'm going to put another one in there, and I'm just going to resize those, and there we go, that'll do. I'll actually leave a spot down the bottom there for a button. I think that was the design, wasn't it? So if we come back and have a look at the design for that, no, the calculate button's up there, so that's okay. So let's come back to here, and I'll just pull this one down a bit, and we probably don't need as much space for the output as we do for the input, so, but you can resize that. And now we need to also come and show the properties here. I'm just going to pin that window as well. For the group box, if I just come and change I'll leave the name, I don't need to name it, but I will come and actually set up the title for it, the text for it. So text, and I'll put that, I think, what was it, BMI, your data and your BMI. So if I come back to there again, so your data, and you'll see that change over there, and select the other group box and set that to be your BMI. Okay, all right, and there are a few components we had to put in. We had to put in a couple of labels, height and weight, a couple of text boxes, and they've got name there, TXT box height, TXT box weight. There's a checkbox and a button, so let's build that one first and build the input and get that happening first. So if I go up to, from the list here, if I go and grab a label, and my formatting won't be particularly great, but that's alright, and I'll go and format that label. Again, I don't need to change the name because I'm not going to talk to that in memory, but I think it's height is the first one. And if I wanted to, I could come and change the font for that as well. I might do that while I'm there. Where is that? There's the fonts for that. There we are. So if you expand the font, and I'll leave that, but I will change the size to be, let's make it a bit more legible. Let's make it 14. And everything else should be right there. And then I'm just going to copy that, Control-C, Control-V, and paste it, and then I'll line that up, and I'll put the text for that one to be weight. So copy and paste is cool, and then I can just align that. There we go. That should be enough space there, and then I'll go and grab I'll grab a text box and do the same thing. Now the text boxes we do need to name because we'll be talking to those in memory, so we need to know the actual name of those. And it was TXT BX height. So I'm going to change the name of that down here. So I'm going to use a prefix, TXT BX height. So we know it's a text box and that it's representing the height in our solution. And I'll just grab another one and drag that over and just align that the same, and I'll do exactly the same with that one, but I'll name that one txt bx weight. Naming is important, so you can find variables b lowercase x. There we go. So now when I look at those, if I want to talk to those in code, I know what they're actually called and what they represent. Yeah, the layout's not too great, but you know, it'll work. We can tweak that up later. And I need a checkbox as well. So there's a, where are we? Checkbox, there we are. So I'm just going to drag a checkbox in there. And I'm going to just put the name of that to be as well as CHKBX Imperial. This is actually part 2, but we'll leave that for the moment. I'll put that in, and I'm going to change the name, the text on that as well. And what this does is when it's checked, they'll enter data in height as feet and weight as pounds. And then we need a button, a calculate button. So let's put that in the middle there, somewhere there, stick it there. And we can resize that, and we need to name that. That's got to be in the middle, somewhere around about there. So let's put the text for that, calculate, and we'll put the name to be BTN calculate. There we go. And we may as well build our display while we're there as well. The display really is just a couple of labels, label BMI and label BMI range. So where's my labels? There we are, label, and we'll change the font on these later. We'll just stick them in for the moment. But it's important that we give them the name. So name, label BMI, and I don't actually want it to show any text, but I'm going to leave it in there at the moment so I can actually see it. But I will change the font size while I'm there. So come up and expand the font tab again and set the size to be, I don't know, 24. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's not bad. And we'll change the color of it later. But I also want to change the alignment and things like that eventually. But we can come back and format all of that later. And I want to put it. I'm just going to copy that one, and I'll just put in here. I'll just change the name of that one to LBL for label BMI range. All right, and notice the case that I've used for those naming things as well, and that'll print out whatever the range is, whether it's healthy, whatever. And we can do the alignment on that. There's text align there. I'm going to set it to be center. I will set that one as well while I'm there. Text align to be center. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, that's the layout pretty much done. It's not too bad. But now what we need to do is add some code so that when we click on the button, it actually reads the data from the text boxes, performs a calculation, and displays the output. So to add what we call an event listener to the button, just double click on it, and it'll drop us into the code behind, and it'll put the cursor in the method that actually, in the function that we actually call when the button is clicked. Now, this is where we've got to hack the code. So we're going to have to actually we're going to have to write our algorithm in there. And the first thing we'll do is go and get the user input. So get user input. And that comes from the text boxes. So we can do this. We can actually just let's create a string, because the text boxes hold string, and we'll just call it str height. Str stands for string, and we'll go to the height text box. Now we know that's called txt, there it is there, height, and we'll just get the text from it. There we go, text, done. And we'll do the same with the str variable called str weight, and we'll go to the txt weight text box and get the text from there. And if type ahead is not working, it means that your variable names aren't the same as mine. So that doesn't matter, but you need to use the names that you've given it. Now, when we want to do maths, we need to actually use numeric types, not string types. So we're going to have to convert these into numeric types. Now, There's a few, but we'll actually use doubles, which are variables. They're numeric types that can hold decimal values. So we'll do double. Let's call it double height. So we'll do the height one first, and we'll use. There's a function, or there's a class actually, an object called convert. Convert class. There it is there, and we can convert. Between a lot of things, but we're going to convert what's in the string to a double. There it is there, right? And we need to pass it the values that we're going to give it. Well, we're going to give it this one and put it into there. So str height, there it is there, and a semicolon to end the line. And there's my conversion done. So I know what the user's entered, and in the height text box, and let's do the same for the weight. Equals convert dot to double str weight. There we are, done. Alright, so now we've gone and got the user input and converted it to numeric values. Now we actually have to do our algorithm. Now our algorithm says BMI, and put a comment here, BMI equals not equals, it actually uses in algorithms weight divided by height squared, so height times height. Okay, so if we write that as that's an algorithm, it's a bit of maths, a bit of algebra. So now if I write that out in C#, I'm going to have to create a variable to hold it, double. We'll use a double again because it's probably going to have some decimal points in it. And let's call it BMI, and we'll set it to be equal to, as we said in our thing, it's weight. Well, we've got a weight value there, divided by height times height. There it is. There's our calculation. So if I actually run that now, if I put a breakpoint here and actually run it and see what we get, and we can actually see what's going through the variables as it runs. And then we'll just do our output, and that'll be the first part pretty much done. But let's see what it comes up with. So there's my interface. So if I enter 83, no, height here, not quite. Let's put in a height of, remember it's got to be in meters, so 1.90, and weight 83, and calculate. Alright, so if we have a look in here, in the string, there's 1.90. You can see it's a string because it's in double quotes. There's the weight, 83. So we've captured that from the text box. And then we've converted it into numeric types, 1.9 and 83. And now our BMI should be set to, that's not quite right. We've got a bit of a problem with our bracketing here. Because it reads from left to right, it's taken weight, divided it by height, and multiplied it by height. So I'm going to shut that down. I'm going to put in some brackets there. Yeah, good one. Alright, so that should work now. So if I run that again, and we should see, what did I put before, 1.9, tab 83, calculate, and there's our BMI, 22.99, very exact. Okay, cool. We don't need to do that exact, but we'll leave it there for the moment. So now that we've done that, we've got our BMI, what we need to do now is just, we need to work out the category. Work out the category, whether it's a healthy weight or something like that. Now we've got that as part of our table here. So we've got here BMI range. I'm going to just copy that and stick that into my code. I think I can. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to comment that out though, otherwise the compiler's going to go nuts. So I can actually use this, and what we'll do is we'll use some selection statements or if statements. If this is true, do this, else if this is true, do that, else if, and we'll just do it as a little, I think, how many we need. Alright, so if, we're going to say if BMI is less than, we're going to do the first one here, less than 18.5, then, I'm going to put a bracket, there's a pair of curly brackets, we'll do this. We need to set the text to be, we want to display the BMI, but we want to show the text. So let's have a variable to store the category in. So we'll do string category, str category, and we'll set that to be equal to empty to start with. And what we'll do is here we know that that's going to be underweight, and we have to set the style to blue. But what we'll do, we could do it this way. We could do, let's just say, easy way I guess. We had our label, what was it called? Label LBMI. Did I actually name that? I don't think I did. I don't think I named this one. No, it's still label 3. I need to name it LBMI range. I actually changed the text of it. So now if I come back into here, now BMI range, there it is. I'm going to set the text, I'm not going to read the text, I'm going to set the text to be equal to underweight. Now it's text, so it's got to be inside quotes, semicolon, there it is. But I also want to set this style to be blue. So that's easy. Let's do this. LBL range dot for color, there it is, for color equals color dot blue. Easy. There it is there. And done. Now we also have to set the BMI itself. So we've got to do LBL BMI dot text equals, and we want to set it to be whatever we read, our BMI. Now BMI is a number. Up here we read text, converted to a number, so we could use it here. Well, now we've got a number, we've got to convert it back to text so we can actually write it there. So there's an easy way to do that. It's just BMI. We could use the convert. Let's do it this way. We'll use the convert class. Convert dot, but instead of to a double, we want to convert it to a string. It is there. And I want to convert BMI to a string. All right, so that's it. Now, that takes care of the first one. But if it's between 18 and 24, we've got all the ones that are less than 18. But let's do now else if we know that nothing left will be none. We've cut out all the ones below 18.5. But if it's greater than 18.5, or if it's 18.5 and up to 24, well, if it's BMI is less than 24, then we want to say that we want to set the range, the range text to be healthy, the color to be green, and we want to show the BMI again. Well, let's just do that. Let's copy this, stick it there, but we won't do that. Now it's healthy weight, and the color to be green, and we still need to set it to whatever the BMI string is. And then we've just got to repeat that. Else if, now we know that we've captured everything up to 24, so we don't have to worry about that. But if it's 25, so we should say, not this, we should say if it's less than or equal to 24 perhaps, because it says and 24. So 25 won't be there. So actually, no, I've got a better idea. What if we say less than 25? That'll catch up to 24.999. Else we want to go up to 30. So BMI is less than 30. All right. We'll do the same. Let's put that in there, and then I'll paste that in there, and I'll set to be overweight, color to be orange, and still show the BMI. And then the last one, which is else. So if it's none of those, then I'm sorry to say it's all of this. It's obese, and color to red, and there we go. So that should actually that should work. I actually don't need that anymore. I don't need that. So there we go. It's pretty simple. So let's run that and see what actually happens. I should get rid of that breakpoint there. Let's get rid of that one to start with and come back to our display. So if I put in 1.9 and 83, calculate. There we are, healthy weight. If I get heavier, let's put 100 kilos, calculate. Overweight, if I put 120, obese, if I put up to 2.1 meters, calculate. Well, 12 meters, yes, maybe not. There we are. Oh, still obese at that height. Let's make it 2 meters. All right. Obese still. Wow. Let's do 2.2. Calculate healthy weight. Okay, so that works. All right, pretty easy. Well, you can see how that works. You know, get rid of that. It's pretty simple. Whenever we hit the calculate button, it goes and gets the input from the text boxes, converts them from a string to a double, which is a decimal type. Then we do our algorithm. Then we just check to see what BMI figure was and do the output there. So, done. And I'll do the other one. We'll do part 2 next time. Cheers.